My name is Shashi and I'm 4 months old in Philippines. Abu Hai, thank you. Salamat, salam, salam. Alright. It's more fun in the Philippines, I agree. I have personally experienced that in the last 4 months. My last weekend I was in one of your beaches which is called Matabungkay.
That's not even one of the
And that's not one of the best, that's what I'm told, right? So that kind of sucks, and that's where I'm starting from. Okay, cool. So there's definitely more fun here around. Good afternoon, everybody. I've given 7 minutes. I hope I'll finish in 7 minutes. Where is Christina? She said 7 minutes, so I'll try to wrap it up in 7 minutes. So interestingly, the internet, right? It's huge, but what is happening here and what is it doing here? I just want to pop it together. This country, right? Philippines is a very uniquely positioned place. You have, next slide, Kristen. You have 103 million people in this country and 150 million mobile phones. You know that?
No!
You should check that out. 150 million mobile phones on 103 million people. Why is that? Why is that?
They're eating secret device.
No. They all have two connections, 2 SIM cards, whatever may be the aspects, right? Double connections. Not that everybody carries a mobile phone, but there are lots and lots of people who carry 2 mobile phones, or at least a phone with 2 SIM cards. Now, those are the 3 things, right, which have created this 115 million mobile phones in this country. First part is a growing middle class. Of course, all of you are part of it. I'm sure all of you are part of the upper middle class, right? The sachet marketing by our friends here in Globe, Smart, right? Sachet marketing. I have never seen data or classes being sold in sachet marketing, right? They are selling in sachet. 5 pesos, 10 pesos packs are available. And then you have your mobile phones, which was the breakthrough price, which I heard 2 weeks back when Smart came up with 888. $18 smartphones. But guys, you can't beat India. Today, India announced a $5 smartphone. Amazing, right? So now the point is, in some point in time, smartphones will be available for free. You only have to buy data connections. So today they announced that there's a company in India which is called, the phone is called Freedom or something. The company is called Ringing Bells Private Limited, and they launched a $5 phone. So that's where the net is headed. And the important part is that is what is happening in Philippines. Next slide, Tristan. Sorry. And that is what the important. 55 million people or Filipinos are on the web, and 30 million of them, which is close to 60%, 55 to be precise, are on the mobile. And that's why mobile is important. If that is the route to the web, if that is the route to doing everything on the web, that also has to be the route for commerce on the web. Do you agree? Cool. And why is that? Right? So definitely this is what is changing. You have a huge population on the web, 55 million, right? 50 things happening. 30 million people on smartphones. And what is changing? The basic necessity of internet, what do you think is that? Is that commerce? What is the basic necessity of in the internet? Communication. And if this device can help you do from a chat to a voice chat to a video chat to, I don't know, 3D chat to, I don't know, every kind of chat or every type of communication, that's what is happening today, right? So it has fundamentally changed the way we communicate. That's one. Internet is big. It is happening on mobile. The ways of communication are changing. That is where the basic, precise nature of what is happening in this country. And Filipinos are supposed to be more social, right? So I learned 2 things. Filipinos are very social and they aspire to be social. Right? Yes. Yeah. Some social folks, right? Anyways, cool. But anyway, that's how it is. So the interesting part is that's what is happening, right? We're changing. But once your communication needs are fulfilled, what do you do next? What do you do next? You try to discover. You try to find answers. You try to reach out to the whole world. You try to do whatever was not feasible. And this small 5-inch device is allowing you to do that. Internet is changing the way we find answers. Next slide, please. And I am not fibbing. This device helps people in Philippines find answers because 74%, or whatever is that number showing, 74% of queries, searches in Philippines is happening on this device. So it's important, right? It's a means to an end. And you started communicating, then you started discovering, and you are discovering the world on your mobile. Amazing. Let's move on. Next slide, please. it is also redefining shopping. It is redefining many things, but I'll talk of only 3 things because I have only 7 minutes. I don't know how many minutes are remaining. But it is redefining shopping. Lazada is one of them who are selling new goods, but your friends on the OLX are selling the old goods. I'm told Filipinos are big in basically selling it, right? Pawning stuff and second-hand stuff. So that's big. Lazada is big on the new side. Everything is happening on the mobile. You necessarily don't need a desktop, you don't need a laptop, you don't need anything, right? Just a mobile phone, hold in your hand, a little bit of money in your pocket, and you're good to go. Probably operators are providing, right? Gcash is here. They will not need money even in your pocket. You can just load your Gcash and you're good to go. So interesting stuff happening. Shopping is changing. Next slide, please. And that is the important part of it, right? I'm just giving you one lens, right? Ross just said about the other lens about how it is happening. But shopping, in the last couple of years, specifically shopping queries, right? Or for that matter, when we talk about mobile searches, 600% growth for shopping queries on this device in the last 3 years. So it is important, and commerce is happening, and it is happening on the mobile, right? So that's one thing which has changed because it has make things easier, I think things are coming around. People are there providing a website, people are there to provide access, people are there to provide options of payment options, and once all of this happens, that's where it triggers. I think there's an important fact which I want to relate to here. 5 years back, when commerce started in India, we used to typically always compare India to China. There was one big difference between these two countries. Both had same internet population, about 500, 600 million people on the web. India is not far, 400 million people. China had 500 million people. But there was a very stark difference. In China, 100 million people were transacting. 150 million people were transacting on the internet when they were buying and selling. And that's why that economy was $1 trillion mobile web economy. In India, only 30% or 30 million were transacting. That number is now changing to about 100 million. Now, what do you think is going to happen in Philippines? 55 million people on the internet, right? 30 million on smartphones. How many are transacting? I think where's Vinaj? Vinaj can answer that question of how many are transacting. But when this number spirals and it goes up, that's real economy. And guys, one important thing, right? When money starts flowing on a medium, it is here to stay. That will never phase off. It will only keep growing because that's where validity of things start happening. That's where it is here to stay. So it's important, it's amazing. That's what is happening in shopping. Next slide, please. It's changing the way we travel. How many of you remember this? 2 years back, could you imagine before Grab Taxi and Uber were actually legalized in this country, how you used to commute? You had to have your own car, or you had to use a famous jeepney. What do you call it? Is it a jeepney? Yeah. Right? But imagine today, right? The way, and this is not travel. I'm not taking a flight, I'm not going to a hotel. This is literally from point A to point B. That is what is happening. If I just go to the next slide, I want to show you something. In the middle of the year, when Uber was legalized, the query volume just shot like crazy. And we call this exponential. That is what is exponential. 750 times. Right? And again, where do you book your car? On your mobile. So it's changing. And it is real. Anybody who ever questioned that things are not happening here, that is what is happening in Philippines. Okay, and this is all Philippines. Okay, the next part. People come on the internet to communicate. People come on the internet to find answers. But they also come on the internet. Of course, they want to buy, they want to do things. But the biggest part is they want to be entertained. What is not available on the internet for you to not be entertained? You like stories, you like reading, you like music, you like dance, you like sports, you like news, whatever you need. Any genre, any content on demand is available. And those are the media habits. Just look at this. Just look at the distribution of time people are doing in Philippines, right? It will continuously keep on growing in this country. And how are we seeing it? Next slide. If I just look at people who are searching for gaming, for apps, for entertainment, those volumes have grown 75% again on the mobile. Again on the mobile, right? All of these avenues are avenues of commerce. All of these are avenues which are moving forward from here. When I look at my own simple property, which is one part of it, because that's what you already know, next slide, on YouTube, 40% of our traffic is coming through the mobile. People say, Philippines sucks in